So good morning from Argentina. It's kind of late already, but here it's so cold. So normally I don't leave until 8:30 or 9 until my tent is warm enough from the sun. Hopefully there is sun. So I would, some people are like, oh no, it's so hard biking in the Puna, but I'm like eating Fruit Loops and making coffee. Except this morning I tried to make coffee and all that water was frozen. So I had to get some ice to put in. But yeah, so this would melt later today, hopefully. Um, yeah, and Argentinians have got this coffee in a bag, which is amazing. It actually tastes very, very good. Um, so yeah, today is gonna be like a day of biking, walking, pushing the bike. I also want to do a gear review just a little bit and maybe some questions and answers that I got on Instagram and Facebook. Oh yeah, it's boiling. So here goes the coffee. I do two, then I'll do another half pot. And I have this little thermos that I can drink coffee during the day, which is very, very nice. Okay, reviews. Let's start with some of the stuff I'm not super happy with. This sleeping bag, Sierra Design -9, but I don't know why you would put -9 on the bag when it's actually -2, which is more like 0. So I've been super cold with this one, cold feet. There's this hole here also that keeps your feet cold. So I put my extra shorts around my feet, and my rain pants, and then my rain jacket on top of the sleeping bag where my feet are to kind of try and keep them warm. This night was unsuccessful. That was a bummer. C2 Summit sleeping pad. It's actually very nice, but I am getting some delamination right here. So that's very unfortunate. It leaks out air very slowly, like over 4 hours. So maybe if I find, I don't know, a body of water and it's kind of warm, I can try looking for a puncture. But it's very, very sad waking up on the rocks and the cold ground at 2 a.m. It's like, yep, I have to blow it up again. Gas stove working surprisingly good. We are at 5,300 meters. I've made my pasta yesterday. I guess the thing with the pasta is it gets a bit soggy at high altitude just because I don't know, boiling point or something. So that's a bummer. But no, stove works okay, no problems. Yeah, okay, camera. Sony RX4 Mark IV. No, Sony RX10 Mark IV. It's a nice camera. It has a lot of stuff, good zoom. But the only bad thing is that I really don't like is that when you're zoomed in all the way, the image stabilization is not good enough. So you're shaking and it's so many good shots of flamingos and condors and vicunias that are not that great. This guy makes these jackets in Quebec. Very good stuff. I love it. Keeps me dry and warm. It's a bit heavier, so if you're somewhere warm, it might not be the best, but it's the only really waterproof jacket I've ever had, so that's good. What else that's inside? Shoes. They're shoes, they're gonna break. My suggestion is do not get shoes with Gore-Tex liner because they get wet. After a month, they're not waterproof anyway, and then they get wet and they take longer to dry and they smell like death. I'm telling you, I need to burn those shoes when I can. I think that's, oh yeah, the Go Zero thing. So it worked okay for the first 30 days, and then this connection here is not working, so only these two work. So out of the 20-watt panel, this one's out. With these two, now if I'm lucky, I would get 9 watt, and it should be about 14. So that's kind of a bummer. I haven't been flying too much with the drone. It is enough for recharging the cameras and stuff, but just, yeah, not too much. And then DJI Mavic Air, good stuff. I mean, I kind of wish I stayed with the Spark. It was a bit smaller, easier to charge. This one I get always some back vision sensor error, and then it's telling me that the motor is missing or the propeller is missing, and always have to recalibrate compass. So it's a bit of a funny sight to be in the middle of nowhere, spinning around, trying to calibrate compass, but it works. It takes decent video, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, okay, now we're gonna have coffee and Fruit Loops, and then we're gonna... Wow. That was great wind protection. We are getting a bit flooded now, so I gotta hurry up and pack. Oh no. Okay, this is kind of stuck for now, so we'll figure this out. And yeah, there's the bike. This was one of the best wind protections I've ever had here in Argentina. It's very important to... Whoa, water! To sleep out of the wind. Okay. So as you can see, we are having a little bit of problems, and we are kind of frozen in here, so I can't take this out. I might need to boil some water and put on it so I can escape and not be stuck here. Yeah. Bread, cheese here. So at this point in time, we are a bit frozen in, and I can't remove my tent or my bike. Okay, so a few notes for the bike and how I pack my stuff. Backpack normally goes here, and have more room to carry extra stuff. Now I have it on my back because I'll be riding some funny stuff and descending some funny stuff, and especially when pushing the bike, it really makes a difference to have the weight on your back. I think in the near future I might try to get some small panniers and switch to a backpack that's more like something collapsible, so because I haven't used this very often lately. Frame bag, definitely good to fit in a lot of stuff. Then you can mount whatever bags you want. This I just bought and I kind of mounted with straps and whatnot. This was nice, I got in Chile. Camera bag you can mount with voile straps and everything, and in the front have a harness and a bariac. I used to go without before, and that also works. But it's nice to have this extra support and kind of you can put more stuff on top. Yeah, cargo cages. Hey, look, that's frozen still. And whoa, this is like walking on ice. Kind of scary. Whew. So the sun is strong, sunscreen is nice when it's not frozen, and there's no wind right now. That's Volcan Pieces. Over there is the crater. Behind, no, this one I think Bonete Grande, and then Bonete Chico over there. 7-8 kilometers in a straight line and about 200-meter climb, and then it should be all downhill from there. It's kind of hard to tell because I can't see really the peaks to orientate by, but okay, yeah, so just kind of straight up here. see a person over there walking, or maybe I'm going crazy, but I think that's probably Sylvain coming to meet me, because I was supposed to be there yesterday, but he's just walking, no bicycle. Huh. Let's see. Sí.
Sí.
¿Lo viste?
Ayer salió del refugio Perodero y me dijo que si veo a alguien en bici, él va a estar en Laguna Brava.
¿Hoy también?
No lo sé.
Ajá. Yo creo que me voy a escribir una nota o algo, porque yo pienso me voy por allá en 9,
sí.
pero esos carreteras.
Estaré. Un poco más allá mejora.
So the riverbed is in a very good state. I've got some tailwind, and of course going downhill, and it's been a long time since I've gone downhill without pedaling. Wow, really feels amazing. So anyway, my eyes feel like they're gonna explode from the sun, maybe from the altitude, from the wind, I don't know. I'm gonna try to make it to Laguna Brava today, see if Sylvain is still there, and if not, we'll see what's gonna happen. I think I'm still gonna do the route I wanted to do. looking. How you doing? There's the other refugio. Oh man, what a day. Hey, how are you?
Oh. How are you? Tired?
Good thing you waited for me. Because I got, you know, the wind, right?
Yeah.
But it starts in the morning,
Yeah, it's like really
like crazy. And I walk my bike all day. I met that woman today from England.
Yes. So she told me that she told you that I was here.
She told me where she met you, but I don't know.
Okay.
And I was like,
So you're
would you be
alone?
here or not? Sorry?
You're alone? Your friends?
Oh no, they went to climb Salado.
Okay.
This is a very nice, interesting design.
Yeah. That's good.
Where did you get your water?
I've got plenty of water.
Okay.
That's a touristic place. So
People.
they have maybe
Okay.
30 people that come, so I talk with them. And
30?
They give me water, they give me food.
Maybe we should stay here a couple of days.
Maybe 2 days. So bring your bike in.
Yeah.
And
This is the refugio. Very old style with stones and rocks everywhere. Apparently the shepherds back from the 70s used it when they were selling cows to Chile from Argentina. So there's some of these all the way along the road. So in this wild refugio we stumbled upon Sylvain, and he'll be joining me for a little bit. Or maybe I'll be joining him for a little bit. I don't think you can hear anything with the wind. So I found a decent break spot with some protection from the wind, and just waiting for Sylvain to catch up, because to be honest with you, I've become such a good bike pusher that nobody can keep up with me. uh, so yeah, we're gonna have some lunch, bread and pate, meat pate, or whatever you call this thing, picadillo de carne. And maybe I can catch up on those questions and answers while waiting for Sylvain. Let's see. Well, hopefully this works and you can hear me and see me. And let's see about the questions. Okay. Luca asks, have I seen documentary Domination on YouTube? Have I thought about becoming a vegan? And yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the documentary, but I not entirely agree with everything that happens in the animal industry. But I really think it's very hard to do a vegan diet on the road. I do know of a vegan, Ali from Cycling About, who eats vegan on the road, and it is possible, but it is tough. Sylvain is struggling down the hill. We still have got time. Matthew asks, which moments I felt the most inspired and why? I don't know, like definitely Alaska, Canada and the remote wilderness are very inspirational, and the way you feel out there is amazing, and I can't help but recommend to everyone to try something like that, and go somewhere remote, maybe even alone or with or with friends, but yeah, I think Alaska, Canada has been the most interesting. But I mean, there's always things that make you go wow and make you wish to keep going. And yeah. Christian, how many batteries do you carry? So I don't have them here. So I've got 3 drone batteries, and I'm probably gonna go down to 2 at some point soon. One big 20,000 milliamp hour battery, and that gets charged with the solar. And then both the GoPro and this camera have 1 extra battery. And that's about it. I mean, the other battery. Sorry, I'm getting sick here with the wind and the cold. And the other battery I have is for my headlamp and cell phone, and that's it. Only one 20,000 milliamp hour battery and 3 drone batteries. Those are the big ones. Christine asks, okay, so Christine asks if I'm selective with what I show you in the videos, and certainly I am. I mean, I'm shooting I'm shooting the things I like, the things I find interesting, and that is why you rarely see a lot of footage or video from a city. And that's not also because, I mean, they're pretty cool places, but also when I get to a city I just want to rest and eat, and really I'm not in a mindset of, hey, I should maybe try to show you what the city's about. Like this last city, Fiambala, was pretty cool. The ice cream shop was open until 2:30 in the morning. All the stores are open until midnight or later, and yeah, everybody's hanging out at midnight in the plaza, which is like pretty crazy. But I guess that's because of the hot. The days are too hot and you can't do much during the day. Hey, Sylvain! Lunch! Sylvain! Oh, he's struggling. He's making it. He's making it. He'll make it. It was a steep road though. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely selective. David asks, do you plan to go to Tierra del Fuego, and any guess when I'll be there? I'll be there this winter, this Patagonian winter, so like June, July, and I hope to get to Europe after. Rory asks, any countries to stay out of in your opinion, or should we just buy a ticket and take the ride, so to speak? I think, yeah, I mean, you can go anywhere. There are some places I didn't really enjoy as much, but there's always a silver lining. Like when I was in El Salvador, and my friend saw me, I got approached by the country militia with guns, and then he said, okay, you're not camping outside anymore, you're gonna stay with friends and family all through El Salvador. So I didn't camp outside in El Salvador, but I got to meet all these friends and family and a couple of warm showers hosts, and it was definitely a different experience. I mean, there's just maybe some places that you really don't want to go, like Venezuela I think would be not very good right now, especially with the money situation. There's no money in the ATMs, or no, wait, there is money in the ATMs, but if you change on the black market, you get like some crazy exchange rate. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bike to Honduras, but a friend of mine did it and he loved it. Yeah. Gigis, how many dogs have you petted and talked to over the years? A lot. I mean, yeah. There's Gunner Bro. There's that dog in Guatemala that walked to me on a volcano. Colombia, lots of dogs in Colombia. Peru, Bolivia, and yeah, here in Argentina there's plenty of dogs. Hey Sylvain.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing the questions and answers. I don't know if you remember, I asked a while ago to record something. But we can have lunch here? A little bit out of the wind. How many do I have left? Oh yeah, there's a lot left. Yeah, maybe I'll save this for later. Are you okay? Maybe I should go help you instead of being... Okay, if your tent flies away, I got it on video. this is how to make a meal in your tent and not burn it to the ground or die of carbon dioxide poisoning.
A 2% then?
In a 2% tent.
You put onion on that? It looks amazing.
Huh?
It looks amazing.
Yeah, more like a put everything you have.
En feste. Kan in Hawaii en feste.
In French?
Ja. Kan be a
Ah, fieste.
feste. Feste. It's a good meal.
Part 1 of 2, then I can have the vegetarian chili.
Yeah.
I've got cheese as well.
But
But the cheese maybe we put after, at the very end, because otherwise it gets a bit... Okay, resuming the questions and answers, here from the comfort of my tent, and some amazing wind cover. Silveri is just next door down, and yeah, it's very nice wind cover. That's all I've got to say. Okay, so Ray says, when did you realize that traveling around the world with the bike and having this way of life is something you want to do? I don't know. I think at some point I always took breaks to continue traveling, and then I was like, hey, if I can find a way to keep going, that would be best, and it's just so much easier. I think somebody I met said that it's harder to stop traveling than to keep going. And at this point, I think that's true for me, but I also want to keep going, and yeah. Ryan asks, okay, Ryan says, my issue is that I make no money, owe money, have no self-confidence. If you wanted to do it in that situation, how would you go about it? I'm scared, but I've wanted to do this for so long. I think you have to be, I don't know, you try and find a way that works. When I started, I had a maxed out credit card, maxed out overdraft on my checking account, and I borrowed some money from a friend for the flight. And I was like, if I don't go now, I'll never go. And yeah, so then I found tree planting, and that really changed things, because in 2 or 3 months you can make enough money for a whole year. And I think that's or finding seasonal work like that, or if you have, I've met people that have like a property or like a house or something, and they can rent it out and travel, and that works out okay. Michael asks that how much money does it take, not including gear, to travel the Americas? That's again a very big question, because I took like 4 or 5 years now, so it wouldn't really make any number, even if I knew it, would not make any sense. But I think a very good budget is $10 a day, which could be tougher in USA and Canada and Costa Rica, but in other places this is eating out, hotel room every now and then, and eating good as well. Second question, was it sad when the best dog ever left you to stay behind? I don't know which dog. Would that be the dog in Ausangate, the black dog? I think maybe that one. To be honest, it wasn't sad. I was kind of happy, because if he followed me past the village where I met him, I don't know, would be hard to return him. So I was kind of glad he went. He was barking too much at night. He was eating all my food. So, but yeah, it was kind of sad, but we had a good time. He's still there walking with people. Louis Blake, what camera are you currently using as your main video camera? I mean, the GoPro is kind of used quite often, which is very handy, has a lot of features. Right now, I'm shooting with Sony RX10 Mark IV. So it's a kind of a big camera, and I don't know, it has good stuff, but I find that I'm not really using many of these buttons that are sitting all around the place. Like the only thing I ever do is I would change FPS to 120 if I wanted to, or if something is very far away, I'll do 4K so I can use image stabilization. Because the main thing is about this camera, and that's gonna take a while to zoom in, but the stabilization is not very good. So you're zoomed in on a rock or something, and it just feels like, yeah, makes you dizzy. And this is when I'm sitting in my tent, and when you're outside and the wind's blowing on you, things get much rougher. Okay, I'm zooming out. I guess the autofocus is very nice, but that's about it. Christos Aristotelus, that sounds Greek, asks, oh, but then look at that. Can you read that? Okay. What does it feel? I like to have traveled the whole American continent as you. I think the only question here is would I write, oh no, what's next, and would I write a book? Next, Europe, and I don't know if I can write a book. I tried writing, but I'm bad at writing books. Julian, about food. I've seen you eating boiled eggs, tomatoes, bread. How much has changed your diet? How much do you eat daily? And what's the tastiest? What's the tastiest food you can remember from a particular place? Have you ever missed a meal due to planning? Any special food? And I think I kind of cut out here. Anyway, so food depends on where you are and what you can get. So right about now in Argentina, from the little town I was able to resupply. The best I could come up was salsa, pasta, and onion. And maybe some meat, sausage. I mean, it really depends what you can get and how far you're going. Like today's day 5, day 6. Still got onions. They've been a bit frozen, but they're still here and edible. So I guess it really depends where you are in terms of food. Like in Peru, I was always eating fresh potatoes, onion, veggies, tomatoes, because you can find them everywhere. In Bolivia, you're running around begging people at the at the store, don't you have an onion to sell me? And they're like, nope. And memorable food, I mean, that paella in San Pedro de Atacama after coming from the Altiplano and the Puna in Bolivia was amazing. That's pretty memorable. And the Alaska burger at Fast Eddie's in Tok, Alaska, that was also very good. Okay, there's one, but it's kind of cut off from the Facebook when I copied it. And then Niels asks, what are your plans, ambitions, dreams? Where would I like to go next? The plan is kind of always open. So Europe, definitely go back to Bulgaria, my home country. Ambitions and dreams, I don't know, I just want to exist. And okay. So while waiting for some of the stuff to melt, well, I should put on sunscreen, but I can do some of the questions and answers from, let's see, Instagram. Screenshots. There they are. In no particular order. Okay. And I'm really sorry if I mispronounce your name or something. I'm terrible at that, so don't take any offense. Um, Tracy Dupree, how do you resupply food and fuel when you're in remote places? I mean, there's always people, there's always a store, and if there's not, I would know, so I would take more food and fuel. So right now I have the gas canister fuel, which is not available everywhere. So if I can't find any, I'll just make a stove from a tuna can and use alcohol for cooking, or in Bolivia for drinking. People drink the same alcohol. Yeah, same with food. There's always a way, depending where you are. Uh, Pustolovac Vanja. When you finish this amazing trip, what are your thoughts for your next adventure? And hello from Hrvatia, Croatia. Well, I don't think it's gonna be an end to this. I want to get to Argentina, then Europe, then Asia, then Africa, Australia, New Zealand. I don't know. It's there's a lot to see. Uh, there's a lot more to go. Uh, Pavlik Pavlik Joe asks, "Is there one dog you wish that could ride with you forever?" You know, I've thought a lot about traveling with the dog, and it's really more complicated than it seems. You definitely need a trailer or a place for it to sit. Uh, I mean, Gunner Bro, the dog from Canada, was pretty good. He can run far, and but with him the problem is overheating. I think with other dogs as well. There are places where it would be good to travel with the dog, but otherwise it's just difficult. But if there was one dog, it's the dog. Her name was Alexandra from Colombia, where we met in a pass in the rain season and howled at the sun, and then we saw her owner and he took her. But that was a cool dog. Yeah. Wiki Waka, you should start teaching people how to make their tours. Huh. Okay, so this is more like a, yeah, I think I might make like a tour guide video at some point. It'd be nice to share some knowledge about equipment and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe one day. But there are a lot of excellent places out there. Cycling About, Bicycle Touring Pro. They all have amazing guide videos and books and articles and everything. I might do something short about how to bikepack, and especially because, I mean, if you're just starting out and you look at all the gear, and it's just gonna cost so much money just to get started, and it's already a big investment. So I want to do something basic, how you can just go without having too much gear, or just so you can try it, and then after that you can decide, hey, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. When I was at the Bikepack Summit in Canada, there was this bike, complete bikepacking gear, do it yourself, and I think the price tag was about 150 Canadian dollars, which would be like 100 American. And that was amazing, considering like now, if you want to buy handlebar roll, that's gonna run you at least 150 dollars. So I think I would do something like that at some point. Motivation to us, question from Bulgaria: when do you plan to visit Bulgaria and the beautiful mountains? I would love to go back and see Rila, Vitusha, Stara Planina, all the mountains we have. I mean, I've grew up there, that's why I love mountains, that's why I love outdoors. And I haven't been back for over 15 years now. But I'll definitely go there. So maybe once I get to Europe, I'll be getting to Bulgaria pretty soon, within a year. Eric Hollander, serious question. Based on how many side excursions I've made in Canada and Alaska, are there many more adventures down in Argentina and Paraguay? I don't know about Paraguay, but I mean, this right here is really amazing. It's really pushing the boundaries of sorry, of how much food you can carry, how much water you can carry, how much wind you can handle, the roads. I mean, right now there's no road. There's always something to do, and even if it's not challenging, I think you can always find a reason to go or a reason to do it. Like yeah, there's always something, you know. You don't have to be doing something epic or legendary to have a good time or to make it worth it. Dnum Yoachinum. I'm intrigued about the little things on your bike to ride without pain for hours and how to get fit on your bike. What crank length, saddle height, foreaft. I don't know what these things are. Do I stretch, yoga, something else? Okay. So right now I have the Brooks saddle, which, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't like. It hurts my ass. I don't like it. The only reason I'm not really having any troubles right now is because there's so much time that I'm off the saddle and walking and pushing the bike. So it's not bothering me right now, but I would change it to something. Just a regular saddle with padding would be great. Crank length, I honestly don't know. I think it's one of the longer ones because I'm a taller person. Otherwise, definitely take bar ends. The Jones H bar is also nice if you're into that. I just don't feel I would like it when I'm descending on a technical trail. I don't really stretch. I should stretch. I kind of stretch in the morning just a little bit, but I don't stretch too much. Okay. Jolene asks, when do you hope to get to Asia? I want to see you do the Silk Road. Asia, I think after Europe, or that's the plan, so maybe like 2021 or so. Martin Knorr, future plans and what do you hope to do when you stop traveling? I think that was kind of covered, but I don't know, I don't want to stop traveling. I want to see more of the world, and if I find a place that I want to stop, I would stop. So I don't know. Carly, do you think you might adopt a dog and take it home with you? I think that also applies. It's tough traveling with a dog, and I don't know, if I ever have a house, a home, I would love to have pets, dogs, cats, you name it. Okay, I kind of lost the pages here. Okay, the Wandering Mango, that's a nice name. You've made friends all over the world. Has there been any advice or wisdom you've received that sticks in your mind? Definitely. Wind is only useful for sailing. That's what Luis said. And then also in Canada, Chris, the native from Bella Coola, and his family, and he said, coming here like you have, you found yet another piece of your home, and this world is our home. And yeah, I think something of those lines, and that I think is very inspirational and very important, because it is true. This world is our home. There's no, you know, we're all the same people in the end. And I'm getting sick because of the altitude. Mike Turing, what are some of the coolest experiences you've had but unable to share because the camera wasn't on? And what is Dead Horse up to these days? So Dead Horse is in Colombia, in Medellin, with Juan, the son of the cycling violinist Felipe. He almost got adopted by a South African cyclist on his around the world trip, but that didn't work out. As for experiences, I mean, everywhere, and especially lately, I haven't been able to turn on the camera. Not been able, but it just, you can't run around everywhere pointing a camera at people, and yeah, it's kind of a tough subject. But I don't know, there's just so many. I can't think of any one particular, but maybe I'll give you an example. Oh yeah, so when I was in Utah in Arizona, I decided to leave the bike and go hitchhike to the Grand Canyon, to hike across the Grand Canyon. And one of the times I got picked up by a mother with her baby, and they invited me to stay, they fed me, they gave me food, and it was just such an amazing experience. They were really cool people, and at the same time, you know, always lost in their everyday troubles. And yeah, and they've been there their whole lives. They've been born there in Arizona, maybe 2 hours from the Grand Canyon, and they've never gone to see it. No, and that was cool. They were showing me how to eat noodles with raw, without cooking, with powdering a bit of the seasoning. Okay, Martin Nor again. Do you not miss people you left behind from where I'm from? To be honest, I don't know. I didn't have that many friends. I wasn't. I don't know. Not really. I mean, I do, and I do go back to visit every few years, but it's not that big of a deal for me. Tails on tires. Do you get tired of being on the road sometimes, and what motivated you to take the hard ways as you do so often? Yeah, sometimes, but there's always a break. I think editing the videos is always nice because you get, you know, a week break, few days break, and then you come back and you have some more energy. Taking a break is definitely good idea because you can recharge, and then you start missing the road. You start missing being on the bike and biking and seeing new places. As for the hard ways, I don't know. I think it's just the place I would like to go, and it's not as hard as it looks. And okay, we freed most of the fly. Yes, we're free. Okay, just this part. Yeah, I might have to kick it around a little bit. Ow. Okay, we're free. We can go now. Oh no, I still have to see the bike, but I think the bike would come out pretty easy. Okay, let's see. I think there's a few more questions from Instagram. There. Oh, I can't say that name. I'm so sorry. Do you wish you could share your journey life with someone? Follow-up question. Do you think there are females smart enough to do what you do? There definitely are girls doing this. I met the French couple up there doing the 6 miles north. They're pretty crazy. As for me, yeah, I wish, I don't know, I guess if it happens, it happens, but if it doesn't, I'm really happy traveling alone for now. I do have friends meeting me and biking today, actually, and I should get going. I'm meeting Sylvain, a French Canadian, and I was supposed to be down there yesterday, but I couldn't make it in time. So today I need to get to 5,400 meters and then down to 4,000 something, and hopefully he's waiting a day. Anyway, okay. Ooh, this one didn't go the whole. Something miserable moments when it rains for days and is wet, everything sucks. How do you never give up? I don't know, you could be wet and miserable, or you could just be, you know, having fun. I mean, I had some terrible time with the wind a few days ago. I had 3 days against the wind, the whole day, non-stop, crazy wind, walking my bike. That was tough, but it's not like I can just say, hey, I'm gonna give up and go back. Nomi221B, do you read books? Favorite book if you do, and what motivated me to take this trip? I don't read as many books now. Favorite book, I really like The Alchemist, really good book. And as for motivation, I don't know, I was bored and I didn't have anything better to do, so I decided I'm gonna ride my bike. I love riding my bike, and I like seeing new people and places, and this is the best way to go about, or one of the best ways to see the world. And I can't say this name. Claude, yeah, I'm not gonna try. What were the scariest moments? What country was your favorite so far? Scariest moment? Oh, I don't know. Scariest moment? I think probably when I had my camera searched in Mexico by the cartel, because they thought I was taking photos of them. Or any place where guns were involved, like when I was questioned in El Salvador or in Colombia. It just makes you nervous, and yeah, but luckily it all worked out. Favorite country? I just have to say Canada and the forests and the wilderness, but also Peru and the mountains is amazing. This here is nice, but I think the suffering to joy ratio is a bit on the low side. But this is still good. Okay. Greg May 1025. Bergs says that all we have to do in life is become more aware of this moment. And what happened? Okay, what have you become more aware of on your journey? I don't know. I think some people would bike and think too much. I mean, there's times when I think, but it's just so much easier to get lost in the moment. And maybe in a way, you're not aware of the moment, but yeah, I don't think I'm more aware. I'm generally not very aware. My awareness is very low. But it's nice being in the now and not worrying about anything, and yeah. Okay, well, looks like that's it for the Instagram questions. I have the Facebook one screenshotted, and I'm gonna finish packing the bike, see if I can rescue the tires from the ice. So it's easy to do on foot. It's just bringing the bike and stuff. So about my derailleur, eh? Quality assurance. Yeah. Okay, so now that we've survived the road to rodeo, I just want to do a quick gear review. I kind of forgot about it, but just very quickly with the bike. Yeah. Anyway, Maxxis tires, FBF and FBR, really amazing. I've never had a sidewall fail from a Maxxis tire. The tread is absolutely stunning, even on the back. I'm getting some worrisome wear on the sidewalls, I think because of the dry weather and I run low pressure, but it's looking good. And I've got about a year on these tires and hopefully more time to go. Drivetrain SRAM GX1. I got kind of lucky that my friend had somebody swapping out a drivetrain, so I got it for a very good price. I would have preferred Shimano just because they're a bit cheaper to replace and you can downshift more than one gear at a time, but nonetheless this has taken a lot of beating and it still works okay. And the little chainring is the wolf tooth stainless steel, which I'm really happy with as well. Pedals, I break them all the time, so I just get whatever's the cheapest. Same with the bottom bracket. Frame bag, Cleveland Mountaineering. Really good stuff, custom made. He was able to make it from my eyeball measurements when I was in Colombia. I would prefer a roll top, like a dry bag close, which I've seen some buckle closing systems in some bags. That would be more durable and definitely more waterproof. But nonetheless, good stuff. Then cockpit is a mix of bags, camera bag. This one I found in Chile, this one also in Chile just for the drone. This one in Colombia, this one in Walmart in Canada. And here we've got a Relevate feed bag, I think. And then also the alternative, because like this costs a lot of money and you can't, especially if you're just starting with bikepacking, you can't drop like $50-$80 on bags, on one bag. Anyway, so you can get a chalk bag, Black Diamond, for climbing, and that was like $12 Canadian, which was very good. At the front we've got Bariac with a bike bag dude mounting system. This is like their tough one, which I'm actually really happy. Dry bags, I mean, whatever you can find. This one is a 30 liter, because sometimes I carry extra stuff. Oh, it's windy. Lauf fork suspension, really amazing. I think having the normal suspension will be really tough because you have to maintain it and there's more chances something would go wrong. I mean, I've put this through, I guess you can see very well, through a lot of beating, hits on rocks, sliding down hills, and it's still okay. And I've got the Bariac Mule, just a bit of glue and a cage mount with zip ties, and I've run this for about 2 months. No, yeah, 2 months, 2.5 months, and it's looking very good, especially when you have to carry stuff on the front. Frame, we've got Fatback Rhino FLT, aluminum, no complaints, good stuff. And then the rack is the Fatback light rack as well, which I feel most racks are seriously over-engineered and you're never gonna carry as much weight for them to support. This one says weight limit of 10 kilograms. I definitely have had more on it. And I am testing the Brooks saddle, which hasn't been very nice on my butt so far. But Sylvain's is really good, he says. He's really happy with the Brooks. Which, sorry?
It's a bit more time.
Yeah, you've sat. So anyway, I'm still breaking it in, I guess. Hopefully one day it will be comfortable. My ass will stop hurting. Sylvain, so what has been the piece of gear that was most useful to you, and the one that has been least useful for you during the last 15 days?
I think the least useful is my dynamo. I did ride that bike for 120 kilometers maybe. And my better piece. And also my drone.
Yeah.
Because I cannot charge my drone. So
He's been carrying his drone for the last 15 days.
I didn't use it. And my better equipment. I think my backpack was really useful in those roads.
I thought you were gonna say your Crocs, sandals.
So great for crossing river, but not all the time. I'm surprised by rivers sometimes too.
So that's my gear review, and this would wrap up the video. We've survived down the hill. Oh, hold on. And the last thing I want to talk about is the Magura brakes, which are one of the companies that are helping me also. But I've got the MT7s, which are really amazing, double piston. The brake pads last a very long time. I've had the same ones since La Paz. So I did the Cordillera Real, the Salers, 6 miles north, 6 miles south, and there's some hills that really make me glad I've got these. The downside is that you can't get them bled everywhere like Shimano brakes, but they are good. I haven't changed anything for a year now, and do a bleed when I get to Santiago, hopefully. And what else? I think that's it for the bike and the gear. And the road to Rodeo is just down the road, not too far. And there'll be food and everything. And my most useful piece of gear is this rubber foil straps that you can get, and you can strap bottles, tent poles, backpacks, firewood, literally everything, anywhere. They're very handy, and I mean, so much better than any straps I've had for the bottle cages. Anyway, best piece of gear. And the worst piece of gear is actually the camera I'm shooting with. And it's not the camera itself. I mean, it's a bit big, but stabilization at zoom is absolutely terrible, especially when you're standing up and trying to shoot animals. Condors, vicuñas. It's really bad considering that it's a $3,000 camera, and big disappointment. So I think whenever I can, if I can sell it, I would sell it and get a different camera. But yeah, just shooting at zoom with this kind of image stabilization is not what you want to do. And even though it's a great camera, this is one of the worst parts about it. And yeah.